And welcome. You're watching News Central Television. I am Judith at TV. It's time for News Central now, and here are the top stories of this hour. Peter Obi confirms 2027 presidential run, says it may be his last. Tribunal to rule June 4th on Ondo governorship dispute between PDP and APC. Mpox crisis deepens in Sierra Leone amid rising deaths and rapid spread. Details shortly. Let's begin with stories on political developments in Nigeria. The former Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has confirmed he will contest in the 2027 general elections, but says it may be his final run for the presidency. In a video message that has gone viral on the Labour Party's WhatsApp platform, Obi addressed a group of young Nigerians, stating that by 2027, he will be 65 years old and may not seek public office beyond that point. The former Anambra State governor emphasized his ongoing commitment to supporting the next generation of leaders, even if he steps back from active politics after the next election. Speaking candidly, Obi also pointed to internal challenges within opposition parties, blaming the current ruling administration for allegedly fueling divisions in both the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Obi's remarks are seen as both a reaffirmation of his 2027 ambitions and a signal to younger Nigerians to take up the mantle of leadership in the years ahead. Members of the All Progressives Congress in Warri Federal Constituency have expressed their full backing for President Bola Tinubu and Delta State Governor Sheriff Warri in the lead-up to the 2027 elections. Urumi Ememi, the APC leader in the federal constituency, however, ruled out automatic tickets for newly defected PDP entrants into the APC to contest all legislative positions in the federal constituency and Delta South senatorial seat. While addressing a large gathering of APC leaders and supporters in Warri, Delta State, South Nigeria, Emami and other APC chieftains made the declaration during his triumphant return from his vacation abroad and continuation of his Golden Jubilee celebration. News Central's correspondent Austin Azu has the report.
It is likened to the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem as the Delta-born politician and businessman Urumi Emami's flights landed at the Osubi Airport, Delta State, where various political groups of the APC, including his kinsmen, gathered to honor him with a royal welcome back from vacation abroad with a cultural display. In a motorcade, Urumi and others arrived at Ubuangwe, Warri, for his Golden Jubilee celebration badge, which was organized by Francis Nyonwore. The birthday event, which seems like a political rally, afforded APC leaders and chieftains the opportunity to roll out the scorecard of President Bola Tinubu and pass a vote of confidence in him.
Ovie, that be our governorship candidate that time. So he did a lot. I fallen for this state. If he campaign for himself finish, he go campaign for Asiwaju. Me too go pass there. I go campaign for Asiwaju. I be not be so. So anything what they do, as I they support the governor, as I they support the president, I can never forget Ovie Omo Agege. So we go continue to stay behind Jagaban, make Jagaban continue to doing good work. We know say things hard, but not being cause I'm like waiting at the top.
This may not do well. Anybody go come join the party. The scorecard spoke for itself, and that is why everyone is coming into the party. And today, The whole Nigeria, from coast to coast, are acknowledging that he has performed. So they are clearing the road for 2027. Ajabo is a good man. If we get somebody like this for Tragically today, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't stand since.
Highlight of the event is the cutting of the 50th birthday cake by the celebrant Urumi, joined by other guests. In Warri for News Central, Austin, Azu.
Let's also tell you that a major political shake-up is unfolding in Akwa Ibom State, where Governor Umo Eno has formally directed all members of his cabinet to either join him in defecting to the All Progressives Congress or step down from their positions. The governor issued the directive during a state executive council meeting, putting an end to weeks of speculation surrounding his political future, while emphasizing that his commissioners and appointees are not being forced to switch parties. Eno made it clear that they cannot continue to serve in his administration while remaining members of another political party. Governor Eno cited deepening internal crisis within the People's Democratic Party as the reason behind his decision, saying the challenges at the national level have made it difficult to ensure a smooth electoral process in future elections. Though he expressed continued affection for the PDP, he warned that unresolved technical issues could ultimately cost the party dearly, even in areas where it enjoys popular support. In a significant move, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved a new round of appointments across key national institutions, further shaping the leadership landscape in the country. Amid the notable appointments are former Senate President Ken Namani has been named chairman of the Nigerian Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, or NIPS. Also, ex-Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu will take on the role of Director General of the Nigeria Institute of Sports, while Omobolanle Akinyemi Obe has been appointed Director General of the National Senior Citizens Center. Dr. Shegun Aina will now serve as Director General of the Academic Staff College of Nigeria. And former Senate President Senator Ayim Pius Ayim has been appointed Chairman of the National Merit Award Committee. In addition to Honorable Asabe Vilita Bashir will lead the National Center for Women's Development and Director General as well. I beg your pardon. The new appointments also extend to various other agencies, including Nigeria Sao Tome Authority, that's NAIC, and also the FMBN and the National Population Commission. Now, these changes are expected to play a key role in the administration's push to enhance the effectiveness of critical national institutions. The deaf community in Nigeria is intensifying its calls for greater inclusion in all aspects of national life, from communication access to equal rights and representation in governance. At a recent seminar and symposium held in Lagos titled Disability, Democracy, community voiced their frustration over years of marginalization and called for swift implementation of policies that protect and promote their rights. News Central's Eshewa Ese Eyo has the report.
In a society where access often determines inclusion, Nigeria's deaf community is demanding to be seen, heard, and respected, not just in private spaces, but in the public arena as well. At a seminar held in Lagos, advocates called for greater support for deaf Nigerians, particularly in education, public services, and political participation.
Our loyalty and hard work have not been matched with political inclusion. We remain largely absent from appointments and elected positions. It's neither due to a lack of qualified individuals nor lack of interest. It is frankly unjust and contrary to the values of fairness and inclusion.
Their central message is clear: Inclusion begins with communication. They are calling for the integration of sign language interpreters in government offices, political campaigns, hospitals, schools, and across the media to ensure that no one is excluded simply because they cannot hear.
The role of sign language in politics is by assisting the communication of deaf. Because without sign language, the deaf has lost already. That's the reason why we need to include the deaf community in politics. People don't know our importance.
Education remains a key concern. The community is urging the inclusion of sign language in school curricula and the training of teachers and public officials to effectively engage and support deaf learners and citizens.
Education of deaf should be priority of the government, so that when they grow, they understand their enlightened and they know understand their responsibility. Also at home, parents are not yet aware of the child they have. They underestimate their potential, and this is they are skilled destiny.
Despite the challenges, there is optimism. The deaf community insists that inclusion is not a privilege but a right. And through continued advocacy, they are committed to shaping a Nigeria where every citizen, regardless of hearing ability, has the opportunity to contribute and be counted. In Lagos, for News Central, Sewisi Anyo.
And off to Edo State, where all eyes are now on June 4th, 2025, as the governorship election petition tribunal in Akwa sets the date to deliver its judgment on a closely watched case. The tribunal is ruling on a petition filed by the People's Democratic Party candidate, and that's Bola Ajayi, challenging the outcome of the November 16th, 2024 governorship election. Now, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress was declared the winner, securing victory across all 18 local government areas and polling over 366,000 votes. But the PDP and other parties are crying foul. Ajayi, along with his party, alleges widespread irregularities and is seeking the cancellation of the election results. They are not alone. Other parties, including the Social Democratic Party and the African Democratic Congress, ADC, have also filed similar petitions. After the adoption of final written arguments on Saturday, the three-member panel, which is led by Justice Benson Ogubu, adjourned proceedings and scheduled June 4th as the day of decision. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Sarap, has filed a lawsuit over what it calls the CBN's failure to disclose details of any direct payments made to Nigeria's 774 local government councils. The rights group wants to know exactly how much was sent to each council, if any funds were sent at all. Now, the lawsuit follows a landmark Supreme Court ruling last July, which mandated that all allocations from the Federation account must be paid directly to democratically elected local governments. The court also ruled that no state governor has the authority to withhold or control those funds. According to a statement from Sarap's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, the suit was filed last Friday at the Federal High Court in Lagos. The group is asking the court to compel the CBN to release full payment details to clarify whether any such disbursements have been made, particularly to local councils in Rivers State. Sarap says the move is part of efforts to promote transparency and uphold the constitutional rights of local governments across the country. You're watching news now on News Central Television. Let's go on a short break, shall we? When we return, mass burial held in Taraba after deadly assault on communities. We'll bring you the details of this and more after the break. Stay with us. And you're welcome back. Let's turn our attention to a tragic story out of Taraba State, where grief and devastation have gripped two rural communities. Tears flowed on Saturday as residents of Manga Lalu and Munga Duso in Karim Lamidu local government area laid to rest scores of villagers brutally killed by suspected herdsmen. According to eyewitness report or accounts, the attackers, more than 50 in number, stormed the villages around 2 a.m. on Friday, arriving in motorcycles and opening fire on sleeping residents in a deadly unprovoked assault. The incident is the latest in a wave of violence that continues to plague northern Nigeria. In recent years, the region has seen a troubling rise in deadly attacks fueled by a combination of banditry, ethno-religious strife, and a long-running farmer-herder conflict. And the violence is escalating. In the past month alone, media reports say at least 383 people have been killed across the north. States hit hardest include Plateau, Benue, Zamfara, Kaduna, Niger, Kano, and now Taraba. As communities mourn and demand justice, pressure is mounting on security agencies and government leaders to take decisive action and restore peace to the region. Meanwhile, the recent surge in kidnappings in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, has sparked outrage, widespread outrage at that, with families of victims accusing the government and security agencies of negligence and complicity. The Oluwaseyi family, whose daughter Favor was kidnapped on August 17, 2024, has joined the growing list of households demanding justice and swift actions from authorities. News Central's Biola Festus has been tracking this development, and she brings us a story of the Oluwaseyis. Take a look.
She's supposed to write GST this year. When I'm washing others' clothes, I don't wash my daughter's clothes. Oluwato for me. No love in marriage again, no peace, no happiness. Because our children is our happiness. Leave me back to this house. Let us have joy.
These heart-wrenching statements from a grieving family whose 12-year-old daughter has been missing for 9 months is another sad reminder of the security challenges facing the average Nigerian.
He even threatened that my daughter's private parts will be cut. My daughter will be pieces, and all our private parts will be sold to Alaji.
Yes.
Of which we have all this conversation on record.
It's not enough, personal. You please, government should please. My fellow women should please. I'm passing through pains that I can't explain to anybody. Sometimes I just be inside my room crying. Because I'm missing her. Sometimes I will carry her clothes. That a lot of me come back. Because of this, my father-in-law is in stroke. Where is my sister? Is she sleeping on the bed or she's sleeping on the floor? Here is my sister, my bedmate, someone that we gist. Both of us we gist. Sometimes we stay late at night to talk to each other. My sister made this cap for me. She made it. And our plan was that when school closed, we'll tell our father what to enter a business making cap because people say they love the cap.
CCTV footage around the neighborhood captured Favor being led to a tricycle by a stranger accompanied by our teenage friend. Days after, the friend's family reportedly moved out of the neighborhood, raising suspicions about their involvement in Favor's disappearance.
They have codedly moved away from the environment.
Are you suspecting anything with this?
Of course. Everybody around me is a suspect. How much more? The one whose daughter was captured in a CCTV camera that lured my daughter away from the compound.
In another twist, an unknown number contacted the Oluwaseyis, claiming to be Favor's abductor and demanding a ransom for our release.
I have to call somebody to buy my machine so that I can get money. We gather the money together, we give them. They don't release my daughter.
It's a murder she won.
With disappointment, Favor's father explained how he sent the contact information of the alleged kidnapper to the anti-kidnapping unit in Port Harcourt. Shockingly, investigations traced the kidnapper's mobile number to the Enugu State Correctional Center, suggesting possible inside involvement.
He sent an account details
We made a ransom payment to that same account, of which we have tracked the number to Enugu Correctional Center. And to my greatest surprise, on the 20th of April 2024, I discovered and I saw that the PRO of the Nigeria Correctional Center, the person of Umar Abubakar, can speedily responded and debunk such a very strong allegation in the present custody Enugu, and claiming that such thing never happened, claiming that nobody bears such name in that prison, claiming that we never visited the Enugu Correctional Center, of which I have every evidence, I have every proof, I have the picture of the suspected criminal who collected a ransom from me on behalf of my kidnapped daughter, Favor Oluwatofumi Oluwaseyi.
Cases of missing persons is becoming one too many in Port Harcourt that the civil society organizations are now wading in.
We challenge the Nigerian Correctional Service to 1, conduct an immediate, open, and thorough investigation into these allegations. 2, make public the visit register for December 4th, 2024 to verify the claim that the victim's father, accompanied by police officers from Rivers State, visited the Enugu Correctional Facility. 3, provide concrete evidence to support their denial to demonstrate transparency and accountability. 4, according to the father, to Favor Oluwaseyi, the real name of the suspect at the Enugu Correctional Service is Chidiebere Chikeze, aka Chiboy. We stand by this statement until otherwise proven. The public deserves to know the truth. An open probe and release of relevant records will help bring those responsible to justice.
Step into this matter.
For the Oluwaseyis, every means within their reach has been explored without positive results, and they are now urging the media to help get their voices heard.
Please, Federal Republic of Nigeria, our own president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please, Kayode Egbetokun, Inspector General of Police, please, the acting controller general of the prison correctional center, we are begging all of you. Olubunmi Ojo, the Minister of Interior, we are pleading, we are begging you.
We are begging you.
We are begging this Commissioner of Police of Rivers State, Olubenga Adepoju, we are pleading, we are appealing, we are begging the National Security Advisor, Anu Ribadu. Please, we beg all of you, swing into action.
This is my daughter.
Like the Oluwaseyi family, several families living in Rivers State have been through similar circumstances. Many have, however, blamed the spate of kidnappings on poor security architecture and negligence on the part of government.
Good afternoon.
In Port Harcourt, Rivers State, for News Central, Biola Festus.
And off to Edo State, where there is growing controversy in the state following reports of a violent incident in Urumi, where 16 individuals of northern origin, were reportedly killed by a mob. While some accounts describe the victims as innocent travelers and hunters, residents of Urumi in the Isan Northeast local government area are pushing back, calling those claims false and misleading. Locals insist the individuals were suspected kidnappers believed to be behind a recent surge in abductions in the area. News Central's Amadin Uyi visited Urumi and has this report. Take a look.
It was a visit to Urumi located in Esan Northeast local government area of Edo State to uncover the true events that transpired leading to the gruesome murder of 16 Nigerians of northern extraction, labeled as kidnappers by residents of the town. This is the scene where the unfortunate incident happened, where over a dozen suspected kidnappers were apprehended by vigilante, and following an argument, they were gruesomely murdered. Now we have tried to get to the root of the matter to know what exactly transpired on that said day, We have spoken to several who say everything culminated from the insecurity situation they are experiencing on this abandoned federal highway.
This is farming season, and hardly you can see a woman or a man going to farm because of these killings and kidnapping. So in this place, we are living on the mercy of God every blessed day because of the kidnapping.
Samuel Inedia, who was recently released by kidnappers after being kidnapped for the second time, says that the kidnappers terrorizing the town are of northern extraction and dismissed claims that they were hunters.
They are Fulanis, sir. They are Fulanis. They are Fulanis. They didn't cover that face. So, those Fulanis, if they are speaking language, then you must know. And if you see them for face, you know them quite. They are Fulanis, sir. They collected 15 million naira from me. And I bought some things, about 600 something thousand again. I buy ice, buy, what did they call them again that day? Colos. Buy food, half bag of beans, half bag of rice. I bought a plate of 8 plate of fried rice from Homies. They said I should add three laps of chicken, which I did before they released me.
Also, the patron of the Esan Youth Awareness, a local anti-kidnapping vigilante group, throws his weight behind the claims by many residents of the town, saying that the alleged kidnappers were to blame for their ordeal. While he condemns their gruesome murder by a mob, he, however, insists reports claiming that they were hunters traveling from Port Harcourt to Kano is fake news and misinformation.
They were with guns, not the tradition, not the AK-47 type of gun. They were with their kind of gun. That's what we call day gun here, but they are Hausa type, because their own day gun is actually different from our own day gun here. So they even confirmed it that they were actually carrying some money, that the thing belongs to them. If, for example, they were carrying money individually, you can say this man is carrying 30,000, the other man is carrying 50,000. That is what we can realize in hunting in our bush here. Not even in a day, because where are the animals? Where is the bush here now to hunt?
The state government has set up a committee to investigate the incidents so as to get more clarity on the entire episode. Far away in Kano, the families of the victims are demanding compensation and the arrest of those responsible for their murder. In Urumi for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
And we turn now to a deeply troubling issue still plaguing some communities within Nigeria's capital territory, the continued practice of infanticide. Now, years after it first drew global attention or outrage, reports confirm that the killing of children deemed culturally unacceptable is still going on in about 27 communities across the Federal Capital Territory. The victims include children born with albinism, twins, and those whose mothers died during childbirth, all of whom are, in some traditional belief, considered taboo. Despite calls to end the practice, rights organizations say more needs to be done. They are urging the government to establish clear policy frameworks to protect vulnerable children and hold perpetrators accountable. Now, this week's FCT Senator Ireti Kinigbe paid a visit to a shelter housing some of the rescued children. Now, during her visit, she pledged to sponsor legislation that is aimed at eradicating this harmful practice once and for all. News Central's Aishat Salihu has the details.
Infanticide, known as the murder of children for one cultural belief or another, is shockingly still being practiced in communities around the Federal Capital Territory and has been described archaic and barbaric. Data from International Development Organization, the Action Aid Nigeria, reveals that infanticide is still being practiced in several communities in Kwali, Kuje, Wawelda, and parts of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, all in the FCT. However, While efforts are underway to eradicate these harmful practices over the years, some rescue missions have recorded successes in relocating some of these children, often regarded as rejects by their communities, and providing shelters for their care and development.
Many of them before them were wrapped in the bodies of their mothers and buried. Many of them in the past. And then you have twins, whether you are twins or triplets or quadruplets, is a taboo. And so we have so many. If you go to these communities, about 69 communities. When we started, so if you go to these communities today, you will not meet a twin.
Some of these rescued children are calling on the government to help tackle the socio-cultural issues leading to the practice, putting the lives of vulnerable and helpless children in danger and outlawing it once and for all.
I lost my mother when she gave birth to me. In my community, this marked me for death. When Pastor Stevens and Dr. Chinwe found me, I was a day away from being killed. They rescued me and brought me to Vine Heritage Home. I'm not alone. Many children are killed or abandoned because they are twin, albinos, and disability, or because their mother died in childbirth. This belief had no peace in modern Nigeria. We need special task forces to identify and stop child marriage. We need community education programs that teach families the danger of early marriage, like Action Aid are doing in some communities of intervention. And we need scholarship programs so that the families see education as more than marriage for their daughters.
The lawmaker representing the Federal Capital Territory in the Senate, Ireti Kingibe, also visited one of these shelters, assuring the children of a bill to end the practice of infanticide aimed at protecting them from harmful traditional practices and beliefs.
I now realize that there's so much work to be done. There's some challenges I knew, like access to clean water, but I never, ever, until a few weeks ago, knew about the infanticides. And I give you my word that I will bring out a special bill.
The Child Rights Act is expected to provide adequate protection for vulnerable children. However, experts believe that with proper implementation, it can achieve its desired purpose. In Abuja, for News Central, Aishat Salihu.
In a significant move to deepen regional defense cooperation and advance aerospace capabilities, the Nigerian Air Force is hosting the 4th African Air Forces Forum in Nigeria, and it would hold in Lagos. The high-level gathering brings together military delegations and defense experts from over 40 African and international countries. News Central's Israel Ifirobo reports.
The two-day event is themed Strengthening Collaborations in Advanced Aerospace Technologies for Enhanced National and Regional Security. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, delivers the opening remarks, underscoring the urgency of technological advancement in Africa's airspace defense.
For us in Africa, the imperative to harness those technologies cannot be overstated. The threats we face are increasingly complex, interconnected, and unconventional. It is within this context that this forum provides an invaluable platform to reflect and act. It is a veritable avenue to explore synergies, to share innovations, and to chart a path forward through meaningful collaboration.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, emphasizes the forum's relevance in fostering joint operations and innovation among African air forces.
In today's rapidly evolving threat environment, the capacity to protect air power, either for deterrence, surveillance, logistics, or combat, has become indispensable to safeguarding national security and promoting regional stability. It is important to underscore that at the core of Africa's effective employment of air power lies the imperative for trusted partnership anchored in shared values and strategic interests.
The governor of Lagos State, represented by Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat, welcomes the global participant and reiterates Lagos's strategic importance in national security.
Which is a meeting of air power and technology experts from around the globe, represent a united front, committed to ensuring the peace and security of our beloved continent. Under the dynamic leadership of the Chief of Air Force, the Nigerian Air Force has taken a commendable step by hosting this forum at a time when security challenges actually is facing our continent, and it requires our collective focus and decisive actions.
Experts also provide context and insight on the evolving role of aerospace in peacekeeping and combat operations across Africa.
In Africa, we're trying to just deal with insurgents like Boko Haram, like the things that we're seeing happening in Nigeria. And so you don't need some of those heavy platforms. You need more like helicopters or things that can deal with each other at certain levels.
As African nations confront new security challenges, forums like this are seen as essential in creating a united front, both in the skies and underground. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Ifirobo.
You're watching news now on News Central Television. Coming up, Tripoli sees counter-protests backing Beba following violent unrest. We have the details of this and more just after the break. Stay with us. And you're welcome back. Let's turn our attention to a developing public health alert out of West Africa. Sierra Leone is seeing a sharp rise in cases of Mpox, the viral disease related to smallpox. Now, according to newly released figures from the country's Ministry of Health, 3,011 cases have now been confirmed nationwide since the beginning of the year. Now, tragically, 14 people have died from the disease. Now, this marks a nearly 50% increase in reported cases in just 10 days. On May 13th, the officials had reported 2,045 infections and 11 deaths. For the first time, all regions in Sierra Leone have now recorded cases of the virus. Mpox, first identified in the Democratic Republic of Congo in 1970, has long been confined to about a dozen African nations. But that changed in 2022 when the disease began spreading more widely across the globe. The World Health Organization declared Mpox a global health emergency in 2024, citing its growing international reach and impact. Health authorities in the country are urging increased vigilance and public cooperation as they work to contain the outbreak. And now to Kenya, where tragedy struck early Saturday morning in the capital, Nairobi. A deadly fire tore through an informal settlement in the city's Makina area, claiming the lives of at least 8 people. Police say the blaze broke out around 5 a.m. in the morning, according to the police spokesperson, Patricia Yegon. 8 people were burned to death. Several others were injured, though the exact number has not yet been confirmed. The cause of the fire remains unknown, but such incidents are all too common in Nairobi's densely populated informal settlements, where poor infrastructure and limited access to emergency services can turn small blazes into major disasters. The Kenyan Red Cross reports that at least 40 homes were destroyed before firefighters, with assistance from local residents, were able to bring the fire under control. Authorities are continuing to investigate as families begin the difficult task of rebuilding from the ashes. And off to Libya, where hundreds of supporters took to the streets of the capital, Tripoli, on Saturday, rallying behind the UN-recognized government led by Prime Minister Abdulhamid Daiba. Chanting slogans and waving national flags, demonstrators voiced their backing for the Daiba's administration following days of unrest and massive protests calling for the government's resignation. The show of support comes in the wake of deadly clashes in Tripoli that left multiple civilians dead and deepened public frustration over insecurity and political instability. The Prime Minister Beba's government, based in Tripoli, remains recognized by the United Nations but continues to face mounting pressure amid growing calls for reform and national reconciliation. You're watching News Now on News Central Television. Still ahead. Election tensions rise in Poland ahead of June 1st face-off. We'll tell you all about this just after the break. Stay there.